The island republic of Porto Santo is often called the Pearl of the Caribbean Sea. Of course, we often forget that a pearl is the disease of the oyster. The island republic had its own disease, General Gomez. He ruled Porto Santo with an iron fist. The many forts and high sentry towers reminded me that this island paradise was nothing else but a miniature police state. I believe in minding my own business. I came here to dive, not to get involved in politics. At least this was my intention. Driving through peaceful lagoons made me forget the high tension around me. There was to be a general election in 3 days, and I didn't even know that Professor Mercado was the leader of the opposition. Nor did I know that one day soon, I'd have the dubious pleasure of meeting him 15 feet underwater. The scenery underwater was just as picturesque as it was above. I was testing an improved scooter. There were other skin divers there too, watching. A pretty girl and her underwater playmate. I wasn't aware then that they had a special plan for me and my equipment. One that I would long remember. The next day, I was spending my time 60 feet below, looking for certain rare shells from marine land of the Pacific. I filled my sack with a few collector's items and began to surface. My timing was all wrong. I was held at bay, at gunpoint, and witnessed a very bloody battle between some revolutionary students and some policemen of General Gomez. I headed for my boat as soon as I was allowed to. But even here, I found 2 unwelcome visitors, the skin divers that I had met underwater, followers of the missing Professor Mercado. They invited me on a little sightseeing tour. They had information that the missing Professor Mercado was murdered by the dictator's henchmen. They wanted me to find his body. The proof of his murder would swing public opinion. They had hoped that they could persuade me to come up with the evidence. The last thing in the world that I wanted was to get mixed up in a local squabble. But if these 2 students were telling the truth, human rights were being violated in a way that no one could ignore. But were they telling the truth? Just to get a look at the proof they offered was dangerous enough, because it meant scouting around the well-guarded summer palace of El Presidente. But to get the evidence they wanted would be to risk death.
You want proof, senor? These will give it to you. The summer palace of El Presidente.
Oh?
Look at the pier below the palace. The iron chains.
Yeah, I see it.
Before they put the body in the water, the guard said they weighted it down with such a chain.
So?
Look at the pier on the right side.
Uh-huh.
The chain between the posts there is missing. No?
It's missing. What's that prove?
What if you should find the chain in the lagoon tied to his ankles?
Will I?
On my word of honor, senor. So, will you help us?
I don't know yet.
There is so little time, senor. If there's anything more we could tell you.
Well, you've told me enough.
Then what?
But is it the truth?
Why would we lie to you?
Gomez would love to be able to nail a United States citizen for plotting against him. You could be setting me up for that kind of a deal.
You think we might be agents for Gomez?
It's possible. I intend to find out.
If we are not agents, you will help us?
I'll get in touch with you tomorrow at this same time. Where?
There's a bridge over the canal that leads to the sea. You know it?
Yeah.
I'll be there, under the bridge at 4 o'clock.
All right, 4 o'clock. Let's get back to the boat, huh? My friend Jerry Rockmill was the able representative in Puerto Santo of a news service from the States. It was a fortunate coincidence for me because I had a lot of questions to ask. And she had the answers.
This man Gomez is bad news, Mike. The worst for us since Perón.
For us?
From any point inside this country, you could hit almost any point inside ours with an intermediate range missile. And Gomez is talking a deal with people who'd like to try.
Well, sounds like a good man to beat in the election.
Sure. Only you can't beat something with nothing, Mike.
What about Mercado? What happened to him?
Now remember, you didn't hear this from me, but Mercado is dead, murdered.
Any idea who might have been responsible for it?
Gomez. But if I ever said so out loud, I'd be on my way out so fast my head would spin, if I had a head left.
What if you could prove that Gomez was in some way responsible for Mercado's death?
Public opinion would turn against him. Gomez would be on his way out.
You know of a young fellow by the name of Jose Garcia?
Yeah. He's the leader of the Mercado group in the university. Why?
He claims that he knows where Mercado's body is. Wants me to recover it.
You did tell him you would.
No, not yet. Shall we go? Thanks for the fill-in. I'll let you know what happens, huh?
You are going through with it, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to try.
Then I'll get my head kicked in, too.
What do you mean?
Too good a story to miss. There's nothing like on-the-spot coverage.
Hooray. I was right in the middle of something. Something that I should have kept out of.
You sure he meant this place?
Yeah, this is the place, all right.
Garcia?
Yeah. They certainly made sure that he was dead. If I'd have done what he told me to do last night, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, you had to be sure first. You couldn't stick your neck out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to now. And this is my party. You're not invited.
Hey, look, I'm a gate crasher from way back, but we better get out of here, and now.
Yeah. Gomez would love to put this on us. Jerry and I looked like a couple of fishermen, but we were on a mission which could easily cost us our lives. Its strange objective was to find a body and a chain on the bottom of a lagoon. I hadn't wanted to get involved in it at all, but now I was up to my neck in it.
Isn't that an awful lot to carry, 2 tanks of air?
That's about 60 minutes worth. And I'll use up about 2/3 of it to get there and back. means I only have about 20 minutes of air to look for that body.
Wouldn't it be safer to move in closer first?
Well, I might be wrong about those patrol boats. You take care now, huh?
Don't worry about me.
The lagoon was pretty far away, but because I had the scooter, unless I ran into trouble, I could count on hitting the entrance in about 15 minutes. The scooter and its light functioned perfectly. There were strong currents, but I went deeper and avoided them. "14 minutes after I'd set out, I entered the lagoon, and I began to search for the pier. As I moved in toward the shore, I was tempted to surface to get my bearings, but I knew better than to risk it.
You have seen something, Ramon?
Yes, Lieutenant. A boat. It has been out there for some time now.
For how long?
20 minutes. It is probably nothing.
Where the safety of our president is concerned, nothing may be overlooked.
Yes, Lieutenant.
She is alone. And a good-sized fishing boat. Does that not seem strange to you, Ramon?
Yes, Lieutenant.
What do you think we should do about it, Ramon?
Go out and investigate?
Yes, Ramon.
I heard a powerboat above me, so I turned off my scooter and its light and waited. It passed without stopping, and I continued. Soon my light picked up the pilings of the Palace Pier. Now my real work started. I began to spiral in on a wide search area. I was concerned about running out of air.
Good evening, Senorita. Permit me to present myself. I am Lieutenant Perez of the Palace Guard of His Excellency El Presidente.
Good evening.
And whom do I have the pleasure to be addressing?
Geraldine Rackmore. I'm a United States citizen.
Ah, but of course, Senorita. Who but a North American woman would be fishing at this hour alone?
Well, I guess you're right, Lieutenant. I am alone.
But just to make certain, a formality only, I assure you. You will permit my man to search your boat.
You won't find anything.
I do not expect to. Ramon, investigate. And what luck have you had, senorita, with your fishing?
Not so good. I just lost a marlin.
You did? It's amazing.
Yes?
There are no marlin in these waters.
I'd used up more than half of my air supply without sighting a trace of what I was after. Yet I didn't want to quit. Then I saw it, the evidence that I was looking for. A length of heavy iron chain. I could see immediately that it matched the fence chain around the summer palace, and I had no doubts as to whose body it was tied to. I'd need proof to show that it was Dr. Mercado's body, so I took from it what I needed. A medallion, and an identification bracelet. I noted the spot well so I could find it again, and headed back.
I found this in the cabin. This boat is registered to a Mike Nelson.
Excellent.
Mr. Nelson, loan me the boat.
He is perhaps a skin diver?
Oh, no, that's my equipment.
Yes. What are these cylinders filled with?
The tanks? Oxygen.
Then I beg of you, do not use them. Underwater, one uses compressed air.
Thanks for the warning.
Punada, senorita. Punada.
I got out of the lagoon and into the open sea without any trouble. Suddenly, a powerful riptide picked me up and spun me around. Unless I got clear of it, I'd use up what little air I had left and would have to surface. Then if one of Gomez's patrol boats came along, that'd be the end of my evidence. And perhaps me. I fought against it with all my strength. And less than 10 feet from the surface, I managed to get clear. I continued toward our boat and hoped my air supply would still get me there, underwater. I knew I must be very close to the boat.
much longer are we going to play games?
Until you tell me why you are anchored out here in sight of the palace.
All right, I'll tell you. About 2 weeks ago, a man I know, Dr. Mikado, came out to the palace. I haven't seen him since, and I thought he just might come swimming by.
You do not amuse me, Senorita.
I didn't intend to.
Dr. Mikado came to the palace because he wished to withdraw from the elections. He knew his cause was hopeless. El Presidente gave him the opportunity to leave the country. Mikado took it.
I think you really believe that.
El Presidente told me himself. Why should I not believe it? Why?
Because it isn't true.
You dare to say El Presidente lied?
No, not without proof, and I don't have that yet.
Then you never will have.
I'm starting to think you're right.
Of course. Even to think. What is that? Those bubbles. What are they?
Could be Dr. Mikado.
Or Mike Nelson. Ramon. Get her out of sight. Conceal yourself also.
For the first time since I'd left the cruiser, I figured I could relax. I'd get back on board, turn the evidence over to Jerry along with an eyewitness report, and let her take it from there. Jerry, I'm back.
Senor Nelson, you are under arrest. Where were you and what were you doing?
I don't have to answer your question.
You will, senor. Ramon.
You all right?
This is Lieutenant Perez from the Palace Guard.
Now you will answer my questions, so that the senorita will remain all right. Where were you?
In the lagoon, below the palace.
Why?
I wanted to find out if your president was really a murderer. I found out. He is.
You found Dr. Mikado's body?
Say yes and you will die with a lie on your lips.
Well, there was a body, and there were 3 bullet holes in the back. I'd say it was about 2 weeks ago. Wasn't that about when Mikado disappeared?
Lies. Lies.
This chain came from the palace pier.
What about it?
It was wrapped around the body to weigh it down.
Dr. Mikado is not dead. He is out of the country. You will pay for your lies, senor.
You think these are lies? That's his medallion, his wristwatch, identification bracelet.
Then it is true. All they have said about him is true. All true. If you don't want to run into the night patrol boat, take a northwesterly course.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Lieutenant Perez was a patriot after all. His love for his country and its laws was stronger than his personal loyalty to its president. The evidence that we had found was given to the opposition party. Public opinion soon defeated Gomez. And my improved scooter checked out as the best friend that Mike Nelson ever had. I'll be back next week at the same time with another sea hunt story. Plan to be with us again, huh? Unfortunately, just a few skin divers of the wrong kind can give diving a bad name. That's why when Pete Bates hauled up his lobster pots one day in June and found them empty, he was plenty angry. Figured that he had run into some skin diver trouble. But what he didn't know was that it was soon to become the worst trouble of his life.
Hey, you two! Those are my lobsters. I know you two. You're Joe Gordon. You're Eddie Delaney.
I'm only borrowing a Pete. It's for an initiation.
Shut up! I'll teach you to steal my catch. Play up, Pop. Ow!
Oh, my Joe!
So what? Come on!
Hey, my Joe!
You just wait. I'll catch you. Next time I'll bring my gun.
A week later, I was in the same area on the enjoyable assignment of giving skin diving pointers to a pretty marine biologist. Alma Carroll was looking for a certain kind of eelgrass. She made another kind of discovery, a brand new expensive spear gun. On it were the initials ED. The spear gun was ultimately to prove the evidence and the clue to an underwater murder. The local skin diving shop seemed the logical place to check on our find.
Hi, Mike. Hello, Alma.
Hi, Clark. Do you know of a diver with initials ED?
ED. Mike, where'd you find this?
About 50 yards off Camino Beach.
This is the one I sold to Eddie Delaney.
The diver who disappeared last week?
Yeah. Mike, I think maybe you better take this to the police.
Yeah, I think I better. Thanks, Clark. The police were very interested. They asked me to help them. I accompanied an assistant DA on a visit to Eddie Delaney's diving buddy, a parking lot attendant named Joe Gordon.
Yeah, we had a run-in with Pete.
Did he threaten to bring a gun next time?
The old guy didn't mean anything by it. He's sore at all skin diving. He thinks we're somehow responsible for the bad catch he's had all season.
Now, that was Sunday. How about the following Tuesday?
I told you. I went by Eddie's house to see if he wanted to go diving that morning. Well, he said he was busy. Well, I didn't want to go either. That was the last time I saw him.
Ever see that spear gun before?
Well, that's Eddie's. Where'd you find it?
In the area around Pete's lobster pots. Is it possible he lost it that Sunday?
Oh, no. He had it in the car when we went home that day. I'm sure of it. Hey, wait a minute. You don't think that Eddie went out alone last Tuesday and Pete actually shot him?
I don't think anything. Not yet.
What about Eddie? Was he pretty good underwater?
He's pretty good, at least past the beginner stage.
Would he go out alone?
Oh, no. I taught him better than that.
Oh, you taught him, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Who taught you?
Nobody, really. I've been swimming in these waters ever since I was a kid. Mostly for abalone.
Well, you must know this area pretty well, then.
Yes, I do.
Any particular spot out here that diver might get into trouble? I mean, like underwater current, caves, thick kelp?
Oh, Eddie was a very cautious guy. He wouldn't go into an area like that with me. He certainly wouldn't go it alone.
Where would he be apt to go?
In the only area he knows.
How was that?
The area around Pete's lobster pots.
That made Pete an even more logical suspect. We interrogated him next.
Tell him the truth, mister. I didn't have no gun. Sure, I told him I did. That was just to scare him.
But you did go fishing last Tuesday.
Tuesday? Don't remember. I don't remember days so good no more. All light to me. Got no place to go.
Well, let me refresh your memory, Pete. The Pier Fish Market says you brought in 28 lobsters on Tuesday afternoon.
28, huh? Unless I remember that good. Must be they remember the day. I don't know.
Did you happen to see Eddie Delaney at all that day?
Huh? That one. Better stay away from my catch, I'm telling you.
It's a little late for that. Now, could it be that you came across Eddie Delaney last Tuesday and killed him?
You've got no right calling me a liar, mister.
I'm calling you a good deal more than that, Pete. I'm saying you're a possible murderer. You had the motive and the opportunity.
I'll teach you. Go around calling people names.
Easy now, Pete. Take it easy. Maybe you didn't actually see Delaney himself. But it's possible that you could have seen his bubbles, isn't it?
Whenever I see bubbles, I know skin divers down there stealing my lobsters, maybe.
Did you see any bubbles that day, Tuesday?
No. I don't know.
Are you sure now?
No, I don't know. I didn't see Eddie. I told you, mister, I didn't see Eddie. Now, if you said I did, okay. I'm tired. I don't remember so good no more. I'm going to my boat.
Pete, now do you understand that I could lock you up in jail on suspicion?
Jail? Lock me up? Okay.
Oh, forget about it.
But you just said...
No, I know. Just forget what I said. But be sure you don't leave town.
Sure, mister. Hey, mister, what's wrong when I leave town? I was born here. Got no place else to go.
What do you think?
I think he's telling the truth. As much as he can remember of it.
Well, that's just the trouble. He can't remember much anymore. If I put him on the stand, it'd be even worse.
Well, whatever did happen to Delaney, Pete didn't shoot him.
What makes you so certain?
The way he was squinting. He's almost blind. He couldn't shoot a gun with any degree of accuracy, especially a moving target in the water.
Yeah, you may be right.
You hold off on this for a couple of days.
You got an idea?
Well, I'd like to take another look around, see if I could find something. After all, I only searched a small area. Maybe Joe Gordon could help me.
All right, let's go talk to him.
Joe Gordon was most cooperative. He insisted on taking time off from his job. Alma came along, and the three of us agreed to divide up the search area. We surfaced according to plan, but none of us had found anything.
What's beyond those rocks? Just a little cove.
We could try that next.
Well, there's not much sense in that. Eddie would go nowhere near that cove. Matter of fact, none of us would. Strong rip current over there. It's dangerous, and he knew it.
What if he got caught in the rip?
I already thought of that. Checked that cove out. The first thing we found out, Eddie had disappeared. There wasn't a sign of him. Anyway, like I said, he wouldn't go anywhere near there.
Well, let's go back to the shop and get some more air.
Sorry, I gotta get back to the job. I'll meet you tomorrow afternoon if you like, huh?
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Good to see you.
Like I said, let's go get our tanks refilled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Hiya, Pete.
Hello, mister.
Ah, what do you got in the sack?
Some lobsters. Hey, maybe you and the lady would like to buy some, huh? Give you a special price, huh?
Why'd you sell them to the fish market?
They don't want my lobsters no more. 18 years been selling to them. I say they don't want my lobsters no more.
Why not?
They say something about something in the paper. I don't read too good. I don't know.
Maybe we can use a couple of your lobsters. Why don't you come up the cheap with me? I'll get you your money.
Sure, mister.
Hiya, Pete.
Hey, want to buy some lobsters, huh?
Not today, Pete. The DA wants to talk to you. Want to leave your catch someplace?
Look, I'll sell them. Tell him I see him later.
I'm sorry, Pete, but I got to take you in right now.
Officer, can I talk to you? You find something?
Yeah, it kind of looks bad for the old man.
What do you mean?
Well, we searched his shack and found a diver's knife. It's been identified as Delaney's.
Oh?
Excuse me. Okay, Pete. Let's go, huh?
I didn't do nothing, mister. You tell me you wanted to help me. Why you let him take me to jail, huh?
Well, I can't do anything about that, Pop, but I will try to help you.
You will? Hey, you and the lady, you keep my lobsters. I'll give them to you.
Much sense, does it, Mike? The knife being found in Pete's house.
It makes sense if somebody's trying to trap him.
Well, that's what I thought. But who?
I don't know for sure yet. But whoever it is figures that this will keep us from searching anymore.
Well, we nearly searched the whole coastline already.
Except that cove.
Joe Gordon kept stressing how dangerous it was. He'd already searched it.
Maybe that's why we should take a look at it. Alma and I started out next morning. The more I thought about it, the more I was convinced that Pete Bates was innocent of the charge of murder. But we needed proof. Searching the cove that had interested me so much the day before was our last remote hope.
Coming up.
Gotta make it on his own.
Come on, Les! All the way!
Joe Gordon.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
Okay, Frankie, old man, it's your turn. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, wait a minute, will you? Let me get my fins.
What are you going to do?
See what they're up to.
I'll come with you.
No, you stay here. I don't know what I'm going to get into down there. And keep down. Don't let them see you.
Well, how you doing, boy?
All right, Phil.
Hey, quit stalling. Either you do or you don't.
Oh, what are you scared of? You can't do no more than drown.
I swam around the point of the cove. One thing was certain now. Joe Gordon was lying. There wasn't any riptide current. But why was he lying? And what was he doing here with the other divers? Then I saw something below. A sunken ship. Joe and the other diver weren't in sight yet. I decided to explore. What I found was a collection of sterling silver, some in plastic containers, obviously stolen goods. I knew now why Gordon didn't want us to search this cove. E.D., Eddie Delaney's air cylinder. This was something for the district attorney, but I didn't want Joe Gordon or his companion to discover me. My first reaction was one of incredulity. I couldn't believe that an experienced diver like Gordon would deliberately endanger a man's life by depriving him of his air. Why? Then it suddenly dawned on me. This was some sort of an initiation, an underwater hazing. A stupid, senseless kind of sadism. That's when I started to get angry. I could see that this man was new at skin diving and that he was terrified. It was apparent that any second now he'd panic. I got to him just in time. The diver was still frightened. I made a point of taking him up slowly.
Much better job than you did, boy. You've done so long to do the job. Come on, let's get her.
Let go of me!
What are you doing here? Where's Nelson? Who's she? The lousy spy. What do you want to do with it? Hang on to her a minute.
Gordon hit me with the force of a bullet. I used the air tank as a shield. broke away, but he came after me. He had a diving lung, and I didn't. He tried to keep me fighting until the air in my lungs was gone. Finally, I grabbed him in a judo hold.
All right?
We began to surface.
You heard what he said. Joe was trying to kill Mike Nelson.
I don't believe it. He's no murderer.
If you won't help me, I'll go myself. Are you all right, Mike?
Sorry I couldn't help you.
What's this all about?
Tell him. It was about Eddie Delaney.
Delaney?
Yeah, that's right. What do you guys got here, anyway? An underwater gang of some kind? That wreck down there is full of stolen stuff. How was Eddie Delaney involved in all this? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's see how long you can keep your breath. You gonna talk now? Are ya? Okay. You ready to talk? Yes. Did you kill him? Did you? Yeah. Why?
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. It was the final test, Eddie's initiation. And I was down at 20 feet, and he was coming up. And he got panicky. He grabbed my air hose.
And you didn't give it to him, huh?
As God is my judge, I thought he'd make it on his own. He was my best friend.
Your best friend. What'd you do with his body? Huh?
I dragged it to shore and buried it on the coast.
Yeah? When the police started to investigate, you figured to make it look like Pete Bates killed him, so you planted the spear gun and then the knife, huh?
I was scared!
Are they in on this, too?
We didn't know anything about it. I swear we didn't.
We were all members of his gang, but just for kicks. That stuff down in the cabin, we just stole it for his initiations.
Hey, you better come along, too. Come on, you. The DA's waiting. So is Pete Bates. Let's go.
Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.